Hey, what's going on? Akron here. So today we have a little fun little track breakdown. So I remixed a Polyphia song, playing God, and I figured I could show you kind of how I did that. And I don't remix a whole lot of stuff, so I kind of didn't know what the fuck I was doing, but it came out, I think, pretty good, and I'm pretty happy with the result. But yeah, let's start with the intro here. So I can show you the unedited sample, I guess, that I used, because I didn't really use any of this. I just used this. So let's lower it a bit and then let's hear it. Anyways, so that's the sample and it sounds amazing. Uh, I took it from the Playing God Unplugged by Tim Henson, who is playing it on this really nice nylon string guitar. It sounds fucking sick. Anyways, so I want to see if there's anything. All right, let's look at effects first. It's a little bit more boring, and then we'll get into the fun stuff. So I put this like church thing just for like atmosphere. It's nothing too complicated. Just like reverb at 100, frequency shifters doing fuck all, and then bit crushed. Didn't even EQ it for some reason. I guess I just missed it, but whatever, it's fine. Yeah, I can just put it there. Saturator, stereo width, blah blah blah. Anyways, no. Next we have rainstorm sounds with a bit of OTT. I can't. I don't think you can hear these. Why? Oh, the fucking gain is all the way down. Weird. Okay. Keep in mind, I was producing this track for like 10 hours straight, so there's definitely going to be some mistakes I didn't catch. Because I haven't touched it since I worked on the project at all. So, yeah, that's probably good. And then if I was doing this, how I would do it when I'm not exhausted, I would actually add a chorus, put that 25%, enter, and then turn the rate down. And then that way it's more present in stereo and not clashing with anything that's not in stereo. And then we have, impacts throughout. We have the sub, which probably doesn't sound that great because this is the last thing I did that day. I mean, it sounds fine. Whatever. It's fine. It works. I can show you the patch real quick. So bit warmer, default, and then tri-saw, saw wave octave up. Might not be fully mono, so I would add a mono to it just to make sure that it's fully mono, and then all right. So now we can get to the fun part, which is all these. So let's kind of go one by one and we'll figure out what the hell is going on here. So I think this is pretty much the original sample. Oh, never mind. It's pitch down -12, and then we have some effects going on here, some reverb, some EQing, some chorus, a bit warmer, OTT, and then an EQ to EQ out all the lows and some of the highs. Nothing too crazy. Here I -12 again. I think this is like a really distorted patch, if I had to guess. Just added some weird effects. Same reverb, distortion here, fold back. I love the kill hard stuff, so I use it a ton. Frequency shifter that's not doing anything at the moment. I added some stereo width with voices, which is kind of like unison, I would say. So just to add some stereo width so it's not taking up all the mono signal. And then a resonator at E. The song key is E, so yeah, I don't know if it's doing that much. Probably not. Not a whole lot, but it just adds a little bit to it. And then EQing, mid-side, blah, blah, blah. Nothing too complex. And then here, I think, oh, this is definitely the distorted patch. So the whole song starts out with all the chords, or all the guitar playing being -12, and then I think we go into this part, which is more normal. So yeah. And then this part is just distorted to fucks. Amp, saturator. Could probably be EQ'd like a little bit better, but again, 10 hours straight of production, so doesn't. I EQ'd it okay, actually. But let's go through it. So OTT, default, different reverb a little bit. I think it's probably the same decay as these ones, and then the mix down just so it kind of stands out a little bit. And then a bit warmer. I'm going to soft clip it just because I like soft clipping. And yeah, that's that. And then I want to look at this. What is this? So this patch is, I believe, the same thing as this, just way lower and very stereo for some reason. Don't know what I was doing, but it sounds fine, and I think it adds a little bit to the mix, so there you go. Okay, so now we have some drums coming in, so I can show off that a little bit, so let's hear it. So nothing super complex here. I think I just took a kick that I made, probably this patch, if I had to guess. Yeah, just this patch. And then I think I just like cleaned off the edges, the fades, and that's what made it sound like pretty good. I don't even know if it's the same, but whatever. It's fine. So yeah, anyways, let's show off the kick. Oh yeah, it's because I EQ'd a little bit of stuff. Felt like the lows were a bit too overpowered, so I added a channel EQ. I like channel EQ because it gives you a little bit kind of less control, but it sounds really nice. So, and also, I think in EDM especially, we're so clinical with all of our EQing that sometimes it's kind of good to not be so clinical. And then I just have a regular ass like cymatic snare with saturator on it. Why? Don't know. Thought it sounded good, I guess. Yeah, just a bit distorted. We can go on to the hats. Very regular, you know, hi-hat pattern. The only thing that changes here, there's like a hat that's pitched differently. Where is it? Oh, there it is. Second hat of this 8-bar loop, I believe, is +5 semitones. And that's the only difference. So yeah, I think that's pretty much the drums in essence. And then we can get into the rest. So let's hear it. So now going back to these guitars, so I've already shown off all the effects. This one stays -12. This one stays -12, and this one goes back to normal. And that's pretty much the only difference between the intro, the like, I don't know. I don't even know what the song parts are called. I'm not going to lie. It doesn't matter. From this 8-bar to this 8-bar, and I added this, and that's it. So I'm honestly really happy with how all this came together, and it sounds really good. So next step, we have, I actually don't have a riser like going into it, so I'd probably do something like this, actually. Just so, wait, I mean, I can just reverse it, really. And we do the same shit. A lot of impacts. And then we just have a really distorted and warped layer. I'm using textures mode to add that little bit of grain. I think there's probably some bit crusher if I had to guess. There's none, probably because the textures is adding all of that already, and the saturator too is definitely helping. But I think this patch sounds super cool, and then I don't know what this is. Just some strings. I just made a riser with some strings, and that's pretty much what that is. Not sure what this is, but let's find out. Some very scary patch. I think this is essentially made to be risers, if I had to guess. Yeah, I'm transposing, not actually. Oh. Here I'm actually using delay to like make risers, I think. Yeah. It's a weird technique. I got it from like an oversampled video and was like, hey, let me try this. And then I did. I don't know. Sounds pretty good. And then obviously we have like tons of risers and blah, blah, blah. You know, all the fun stuff. I'm going to show that off too much, but just know that it's there. All right, so let's give it a listen and get into the drop after. Okay, I didn't show off the drums, but they're like very simple and like typical for a build-up, so I don't think they matter too much. But I'll show them off anyways, so we can give a listen to them. I'm using the same kick as the intro, and you know, just start off with this pattern. The song is not perfectly mixed, but it's fine. I think it's passable, at least in my opinion. And then I don't know where, but I have some like filtering going on. I've been doing this a lot recently. I guess it's on the here. So we just have a filter. Never mind. Oh, I guess it's just on the snare. Yeah. So we just have a filter that's closing a little bit. And that's pretty much it. All right. Might as well start with the drums here since we're already on them. And let's go through the drop now. Oh, I can play the drop, actually. Let me play the drop. All right, we're going to focus on this part first, and then we will cover the rest. So I believe drop starts at 33. So let's focus in on this, and let's see what's going on here. So let's play the drums first, and we'll get into the rest after. Nothing. So this is a Muerte sample, I believe, and it sounds pretty nice. Yeah. It's from his like freebie sample pack with some company, I don't remember. I think it's like Avant Sounds, maybe. I don't fucking know. Anyways, good pack. I don't know why, but I don't really like anybody else's kick than mine. Obviously, it's, you know, they're making kicks for their music, so it's gonna sound really good for them. But for me, I find that I have to find very specific kicks or make my own to enjoy the kicks, or I end up like producing around the kick, which is not mine. Anyways, little rant about kicks, but it's fine. So I actually made this kick again. Let's kind of look at what I. Oh, maybe not. Did I not? I don't know where the patch is, but I know I made this kick because it sounds fucking weird. Unless I changed it last minute. No, I didn't use that kick. I don't know. I think I might have deleted the kick 2 patch by accident. Or not by accident, because I didn't like this kick, but I kind of realized like halfway, because it's fucked. It's so weird. It's a really weird kick. Oh, it might be the intro kick. I don't know. I think it is. Anyways, it's a weird kick. Like, if I take off the master chain, it sounds fucked. Like, if I do this, it just sounds really weird. I produced the entire track with the master chain on without realizing. It's not the master I use anymore, so by the time I figured it out and I took the master chain on, I was like, this is going to be way too much work to fix, and I'm not down. All right, so we went over the kick. Now we can go over the crashes. I kind of just look for crashes until I find one I like. I liked this one. I frequency shifted it, which I actually started doing a lot. I just frequency shift my drums whenever I don't like the tonality that they're hitting, and I try and adjust it to what I would prefer. Classic patterns, nothing crazy, and then trying to see if there's anything else to note. There really isn't. Like, the drums throughout the track are pretty simple. They don't really change that much, and yeah, welcome to dubstep. That's literally dubstep in a nutshell. Not really much change with the drums pretty much ever, so that you have room to be as creative as possible with your basses. So let's get into the basses now. I don't know if I have like what I did to get there, to be honest, because I was working very messy in this project, so I don't know what I have. Okay, well, that's not that. Oh, this might be it. Okay, well, this is a fun patch. Let's show it off. I literally used it only once throughout the entire project, and yeah, that's pretty much it. I imported the sample in, and then added some filtering, disperser, distortion. There's going to be a lot more distortion, because if you know me, I love distortion. I didn't end up FMing it from anything. I pitched up the harmonics 3, and the root note is B, so there you go. OTT, rock, amp from Ableton, another OTT, and then a bit warmer, soft clipped. And then you get that, which is a fun sound. And then I also have that to add another layer on top. Disperser E4, output up for the OTT, and then stereo width. Everything else is default. I don't know that I have the original what I did to get there, but I know that I combined like Serum harmonics with maybe this. Okay, I guess I don't know where the patch went, but there was a patch in here at some point during the time of me remixing this track that is the birth of the sound. But I can explain kind of how I made it anyways. So this sound is from the original sample, and I just compressed the fuck out of it with a Serum patch of some sort, and it does this. And yeah, so I don't really have any of the explanations for like what I did, because I don't honestly remember, and I can try and find the footage, and maybe that'll help you guys get an idea, but it's nothing too crazy. Like, if you know how I produce patches, that's pretty much what I did to produce any of these, to be honest. Saturator, disperser, just like a lot of distortion and whatever, and that's pretty much what gave it the sound. So this patch is a bit warmer, EQ, that's it, I guess. Keep in mind that there's like a lot of sound design that went into it before, but that's what it ended up being. And then this is so I have kind of the more less stereo-y sound here, I think. It's more mono. Yeah, it's entirely mono, actually. So it This doesn't even need to be there. I don't necessarily think it's good or bad to have patches that are fully mono, as long as you're compensating for it, which I am here. So, but this patch is incredibly stereo to make up for the fact that this is purely mono. And then we have a chorus, 100%, nothing changed, and then reverb, super short decay, not a lot of mix, and then some EQing. Did I even mid-side EQ this patch? No, it's the fucking stereo patch. I don't mid-side EQ it. Good job. Yeah, and then this is not EQ'd at all for some reason, but basically it's this. I don't know. I guess I wanted to have a different volume or some shit, so I just moved it down one. So here, let's go 120, and then I can't. Yeah, so there you go. That's pretty much the patches here. I can go through this. This is the stuff from the intro, and then we have... I don't think I used that. No, I didn't. This was just an idea that I was working on, and then it just never came to light. I think I actually used this patch to make the original sound, by the way. So in case you're kind of curious what I was like doing, I was just distorting the fuck out of a triangle wave, the DS saw and try, and like combined it with the like one short clip of the guitar, and then it just threw a bunch of distortion OTT on it, and it just kind of made that. So yeah, so that's kind of cool. And then I can explain a bit of the pattern here. I generally don't stick to like super like typical dubstep patterns. To me, it's fucking boring. If you do that, that's fine. But for me, I get kind of bored. But yeah, the pattern is like whatever. I just honestly, whenever I make tracks, I am bashing my head against the keyboard until I find something that kind of works. And that's a really long process, but that's kind of how I found that I enjoy working on music the most. Let's hear. Here I just have all the patches from the intro coming in, a riser, and that's the break. Oh, I can show off the sub too, so nothing super complex, but just, you know, pitch down with master tune at I think it was probably plus 12. Yeah, so 12 semitones, bright white noise thrown into here. And then we're going to have some OTT at 13%, EQ, cutting out 1K, saturator, boosting it, soft clips, and then taking out some mud here, which I could probably tighten the Q. Yeah, there you go. Sounds a little bit better. And that's a sub for the entire track, so nothing is going to change throughout that except for the pattern of it, and that's pretty much it. So let's go into this next part. All I'm doing here is just changing like some of the warping and yeah, some of the warping, some of the tuning of the notes, some like +2 here. Whenever I make drops, I go for whatever sounds good, and I don't necessarily worry about the key of the track. Maybe I should. I would probably advise for you to worry about it, but I don't care. So it's up to you. I think that if it sounds good, fuck it. That's always going to be my argument, is even if something isn't according to the music production rules and the music production gods wouldn't agree with you, if it sounds good, fuck them. So yeah, anyways, that's kind of that. All these are is stretched for some reason. So I stretched it and faded it, and that's it. And the patch is literally, I don't change any effects until the second drop. And all I'm doing is like using different warp timings and like what is it? Let me do it. Oh no, it was too fast. I couldn't read it. No, I can't read it. Control Jing it, which I freezing it. I don't fucking know. Whatever it is. Yeah. So I'm just doing that and just finding different like tonalities, using some of the warp modes or changing some of the note tunings, and that's pretty much all I'm doing throughout this entire drop is just finding interesting rhythms with note timings and warp settings and all this kind of stuff. Oh, here's an interesting thing that I did. So here we have the delay that turns on, and it goes from 10 milliseconds to 122 by the end of it, and then it turns off here, I think. Yeah. Oh, here's a fun one. So here I have -7, and then here I think I either left it the same or pitched it up with, yeah, so I'm transposing it to like +12, which gives it this like weird, whoa. So that's pretty cool. And yeah. And then I have some filtering going on. Did I imitate that with the sub? I didn't. Okay, well, if you wanted to be extra fancy, you could, because it'll give it a little bit more like pop and pizzazz. If you're wondering why I'm like shutting off this patch, let me show you without. Oh, it's not that bad. I guess I fixed it. Oh, it's because I had like 2 compressors on it for some reason. I don't know. I was producing very messy during this remix, and I had like 2 compressors that made things sound good, but also fucked. So I took off. I think it was this compressor. Yeah, I think I had 2 of these for no reason, and then yeah, it's making things sound like kind of cool, but also really fucked. So had to get rid of it. I can show out this one. It's literally the end of it that makes that yeah sound that makes it feel super different. And I think I froze it, so I can't show off the process. Wait, maybe this patch? Oh, wow. Okay. So this patch is a lot more obvious what's going on. But I don't know if I have... I think I just stretched it. Yeah, I think I just stretched it, and put textures mode, and then played with... let's find out. Played with the grain size until I kind of found that tonality that I was looking for. And then here, pitched it -12. All right, and now we're through the drop. One of my favorite parts of the track. So I kind of just layered a bunch of these Analog Lab sounds that I really like. I guess I didn't use this in the end. I think, yeah, that was just an idea. I kind of saved the sound in case I was going to use it, but I didn't end up using it. So I'm going to freeze it just so it doesn't take up CPU for no reason. A good habit that you guys can have is freezing your tracks when you're done with them. Even flattening them. I get a little bit nervous because I always end up wanting to change stuff. Or if I want to show off a lot of what I'm doing with my production in these videos, then I can't flatten them because, yeah. I could have flattened versions of the projects, though, and I might experiment with that. On this computer, not a huge problem, but on my Mac, some of my project files are like fucking exploding. So I didn't know that I actually had the MIDI for this. It was just on a different drive. So halfway through the remix, I found it and I was like, hey, fuck it. Let me go crazy with this and find a sound that's going to work. Because I don't know what fucking notes he's playing. I'm not very good at music theory. And I definitely can't write whatever he's playing out by ear because don't know how to do that. So I found the MIDI online, got it, and used it to make a catchy little thing to like start off the second break. And it's, in case you're curious, it's Voltage Ensemble from Analog Lab 5, which is probably my favorite plugins for intro because there's so many good patches and I literally have to do nothing, which is kind of cool. And I can just focus all my sound design energy on the drop, which is fine. I still make certain patches whenever I can't find what I'm looking for, but usually if I'm looking for something, Analog Lab has it, so I might as well just go for it. Well, I think this sounds amazing. And I obviously, I had to add a little bit of my 80s flair into it, so that's what that is. So yeah. Just filters in. That's pretty much that. Let's get into the exciting part here. So now we have a lot of guitar. So I believe essentially the same. I believe pretty much everything stays the same, except maybe I'm like tuning these to different octaves, and I'm actually not. So pretty much everything stays the same, but it just sounds a lot different because I'm adding this element right here. And also these violins, which are ensemble, sustain, tremolo, blah, blah, blah. I don't know. I use these a lot. They're really good. So yeah, that's pretty much that. And that's what makes this breakdown. So drums don't change. So another thing to note here. I think I added something. I'll add it here too. Same build up as before, except I'm adding. Same build up, adding the extra bits that I added. I don't know if I'm doing anything to them. I don't believe so. Maybe just filtering them, and that's about it. Not even. So I'm literally not doing anything. Also, I'm letting everything reverb out, which I don't know if it's the best idea. I think it works fine for this one because I don't have a vocal. I think I'm cutting it, actually. All right, so now, second drop. Again, we are using the same. I literally made one sound and then used it for the entire track, by the way. So if you're like, I don't know how to sound design that well, just need to figure out how to make one fucking sound and then learn how to pitch it all kinds of different weird ways and stretch it, and that's that. You literally don't need that much to make a track. Obviously, it sounds like that's what I did, which is exactly what I did, but I mean, I did this in like 10 hours and I had no idea what the fuck I was doing. So fuck it. Just go for it. And it doesn't matter. Not every track has to be your best work. That's what I'm going to say is sometimes you're going to hit those tracks where you're like, holy fuck, this is next level. Like I have evolved as a producer. And then sometimes you're going to make something like this where for me, this is still pretty high level, but it's like, okay, this is a track I made. It's not amazing. It's fine. Man, I hope that doesn't come off as like braggy. I really don't mean it in that way. I just mean it as like, not every track is your best track, and objectively, this is not my best track, but it's still pretty good. And I still think that you can learn stuff from it because I don't really remix stuff that much. And I think that's the whole takeaway of the video is I did something that I don't do that much, and it didn't come out the best thing that I've ever made, but it came out pretty good. So in my objective opinion, I did a good job. Anyways, back to sound design and fun stuff. So all right, let's get into this. So I added some, so we have the same delay as before for like the kind of, I don't know, the show thing. The show thing everybody does. Play only bass and people go crazy. That thing. Yeah, perfect. The bass buildup if you want. And then we have a resonator and then a lot of disperser pitched to different key or different notes. Phaser, which if you want, I don't know if I did, but just copy that. I just tweak shit until it sounds good. Ring mod, which probably just adds like a bit of texture and like flowiness. And then we have, holy fuck, there's a lot. Combs filter, Kilohertz, shout out Kilohertz, please sponsor. I use all of your shit all the time. Not shit, it's amazing products. It's amazing products, which is why I use it a lot. EQ filter that I am. Oh, I'm using it like throughout the track, but reverb, that is not doing anything. So that means that I am using it. Yeah, just reverb, blah, blah, blah. Nothing super fancy. But yeah, anyways, so that's what gives these sounds like their weird tonalities that are a bit different from the first drop, and not crazy different. Like they still sound relatively the same. Oh, so yeah, that's. Oh, wait. I might be able to show off what I did because I found the patch now. I think. Is this it? Yeah, cool. Yeah, so I literally just. Oh, what is happening? Okay, never mind. That's not the patch. I lied. I'm sorry. I thought this was what I was looking for, but I think it's all gone. The evidence is gone, my boys. And maybe there's a reason for it. Who knows? Okay, well. A little bonus sound design tip, I guess. I don't think I used this anywhere, but this is kind of a cool screech. So sub, just look at what I'm doing here, and you can have a cool screech like that I didn't end up using. Oh boy, don't leave it on though. What is this here? Okay, just if you want to sound like that. I think I was just experimenting with like a gunshot sound or just, yeah, just like a tear out gunshot sound, and I didn't end up using it. So I just want to see if there's anything to note, because I honestly don't really think there is. I use pretty much the same sound throughout the entire track, pitched it, warped it, blah, 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 and that's what makes this entire remix what it is. And the interesting bits is just what I did with the sample, which is just put like a Serum patch under it that I think was just a lot of distortion and like a really short clip of the guitar playing that was happening, and that's pretty much what the fuck happened. Oh, and I forgot to mention that I switched to a snare, which is kind of my classic snare. I think it's like I don't remember which snare it is, but I just like compressed it with a bunch of other shit, and then I've been using it for a while, and I don't know, I think it sounds really good. I was kind of copying the snares that Sulfur or Reaper used to make, or still makes, I would assume. But I like his snares a lot. They're fucking like big, and like they have those big tails to them. So yeah, I use it in a lot of my tracks. I don't think. I think it's been mixed with so many other samples that whatever the original sample is, I don't fucking know what it is, but it sounds good, so fuck it. I'm using fades and stuff. This is probably my favorite like pattern that I use in the entire track. I don't know. Like, I produced this after probably like 8 or 9 hours of production throughout the day. And so I was just going fucking nuts. I was just like not making any sense. But I just added like, what the fuck is this? Like, what? Plus 48. Why? I don't know. I don't know what I was doing. Whatever. It's fine. I just find it funny. Anyways. And then, I don't think you're technically supposed to do this, but I just fucking started the outro from here, which means, yeah, whatever. It's fine. Who cares? Technically, it should start at 129, but hey, it goes out a bar longer, so hey, we're all even. We're all good. Music production gods may punish me for this, but it's okay. They won't take my head at least, so it's fine. But yeah, anyways, I wish there was a little bit more that I could show off. I wish I had the original patch, but I kind of don't, and I don't know what the fuck happened. But yeah, hopefully this kind of gives you a bit of an idea of how I took a simple guitar riff part of a band that I really like now, that I didn't know existed until I think like 2 or 3 weeks ago, and I'm completely obsessed with them now because their music is so cool, and I didn't know music like that existed, so it's super cool. Check out Polyphia, man. Their stuff is so cool. If you're big into like technical guitar playing, holy shit, you're gonna cry. Like, this is so cool. This is so good. Yeah. Anyways, that was super fun. I really enjoyed making this remix, even though by hour 9.5 I felt horrible, and I finished this track by like 4 in the fucking morning. It was awful. But I had a ton of fun, and I wouldn't do this again for a long time, because 10 hours of producing, even though I took breaks in between, like I went to the gym, I made food, I did like a bunch of shit in between, but still like 10 total hours of production, and you're fucking zonked and dead. So yeah, don't recommend it, but yeah, it's kind of fun. So yeah, I just kind of set a challenge for myself to make this remix in one day, pretty much, and just let myself not go to bed until it was finished. And it ended up with like kind of a lot of mistakes, but that's only expected when you're trying to do a track in one sitting. You're just not going to notice a lot of the stuff. Anyways, this track is going to be released on my SoundCloud, so if you want to go check it out there, then check it out there. Link is going to be in the description. And yeah, hopefully you support all the stuff that I'm doing. Patreon is going to be released soon, hopefully in February. I'm going to start talking about it now because fuck it, why not? You're going to have, so right now I have like 6 tiers that are going to go up throughout the year. I don't fucking know. I'm going to have to evaluate like how much workload I can take on before I release all of them. But first tier that I'm going to come out with is obviously a track a month. So yeah, you're going to get an original track per month, and do with it whatever you please. If you want to fucking remix it, do that, and or bootleg it technically, because I will not release stems until later tiers. But I'm just gonna start with one tier, see how much work. Well, actually, I'm gonna be done all the work for it like soon. the entire year of the Patreon will be done, at least the music portion of it. And then I can focus on the other tiers like sample packs and shit like that. Project files. Project files might be a little difficult because I use third-party plugins like Analog Lab, and I don't know. I know that plugin is not something that a lot of people have, so that I will definitely have to at least freeze, maybe even potentially flatten it, so you guys can really understand what the hell I'm doing. But yeah, I have big goals for the Patreon, and I won't say all of them here, but just know that I really want to make it kind of like a bigger community, and hopefully teach you guys some knowledge, and hopefully even get some knowledge from you guys, because I think that there are so many things I don't fucking know about production. I've been doing this for quite a long time, but I still learn new things every week, every day, or whatever. I'll like watch some YouTube video with some guy that I didn't even know exists. And then I don't know, today I was learning about melodies and I'm like, holy fuck, I didn't know any of this shit. This is so cool. Thank you. But yeah, anyways, I'm going to stop rambling, and hopefully you enjoyed the remix. Hopefully you go check out the remix because it was super fun to make, and hopefully you start making your own remixes. Just know that it's not that complicated if you get a good sample and you just allow your creativity to explode and flourish. Because yeah, just try all the ideas, and maybe it'll take you 2 hours to find the right one, but that's fine. That's the process of music production. And you don't have any time limit to when. Well, actually, you should have a time limit. Don't spend 2 years on the same track, and you're good. Anyways, thanks for watching, and see you soon. Later.